Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our virtual college exploration program featuring Westchester University. My name is Sarah Morissette, coming to you from Jersey City, New Jersey at St. Peter's Prep, and I am a proud NJACAC member. I'm also an equally proud alum of Westchester, which is where I got my master's degree. So I'm so thrilled to be here with them and living the truth of what they're going to share with you. A few housekeeping things. If you want to ask questions, please use the Q&A button. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. Please sign up for more sessions. We have a few more going on. This is one of many. You can check out the schedule at www.njacac.org/virtual fair, and recordings will be available. So once again, thanks for being with us. I'm going to turn it over to the ladies from Westchester.
Hi, everyone. I guess I'll go ahead and start and introduce myself, and then I'll turn it over to Emily. My name is Hannah Lebowski. I am one of the Assistant Directors of Admissions at Westchester University. I am also a very proud alumni of Westchester. I graduated in 2019, so also a very recent alumni. If you have questions about what it's like to be a student, I'm not very far removed, so please ask away. We're so excited to tell you a little bit more about Westchester.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Emily. I'm one of the Assistant Directors of Admission at Westchester University. And just to agree with Hannah, I'm very excited to be here with you all today. So we'll be doing a brief presentation about everything Westchester has to offer. Feel free, if you have any questions throughout that time, just pop your questions into the Q&A section and we'll try and answer them to the best of our ability. So where is Westchester located? So we are about 30 miles outside of Center City, Philadelphia, and we're less than 2.5 hours from Washington, D.C. and New York City. So we are in a really great location between all of these major metropolitan areas, and it allows a lot of out-of-classroom experiences for our students, from bus trips up to New York City, internships in Philadelphia, and trips and research in D.C. So a lot of really great opportunities are available to our students because of our location. In addition to being close to these great cities, our actual town is great. Just about 10 minutes from campus, you will find the borough of Westchester, which is actually rated one of the best college towns in America and one of the best towns to live in after graduation. You can see a little shot there of one of the main streets in Westchester. There are a bunch of restaurants, coffee shops. There are boutiques down there. They're always hosting events. Normally we'd be having our Westchester Chili Cook-Off Restaurant Week. The QVC Holiday Parade is there. So it's a really great town full of energy as well. So Westchester's total enrollment is over 17,000 students, and over 14,000 of those students are undergraduate students. We are a member of the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education. We are one of 14 schools, and we're actually the largest of those 14 schools. So we are a mid to large size university. However, we still maintain a student focus. Our student faculty ratio is 19:1, and our average class size is between 25 and 35 students. Another huge highlight of Westchester is all of our classes are taught by faculty members. So they are always going to be taught by a professor, and our graduation rate is above the national average. Here at Westchester, we have over 180 different academic opportunities and over 90 majors that are offered to our undergraduate students. They are broken into 6 colleges and 1 school, which are listed right here. We have our College of Arts and Humanities, College of Business and Public Management, College of Education and Social Work, College of Health Sciences, College of Science and Math, our University College, and our Wells School of Music. And in the next few slides, both Hannah and I will be going into more detail about what these colleges have to offer to our students in terms of highlights, majors, and so on. So the first college is our College of Arts and Humanities. Majors included in this college are art and design, communications, English, history, and so much more. And there are a lot of highlights for this program. So our Department of Theater and Dance has a ton of performances, musicals, plays, and concerts every year. Their art students are always showcasing their skills in art exhibitions throughout campus during the year. We have 2 art galleries, theaters, concert spaces for communication students. We have media labs on campus and so much more. Next, we have our College of Business and Public Management. As the name states, it's where you will find our business majors, as well as geography, urban planning, and several other majors like those. We actually opened our business center in spring of 2017. You can see it right there. And our business school is AACSB accredited. A highlight of our School of Business as well as our public management programs is the internships offered. As I said earlier, we are in a really great location, being close to so many big cities, and it allows our students to participate in some really great internships. We have students interning with some of the top accounting firms. We have them working with Philadelphia sports teams. Our criminal justice students are interning with the U.S. Marshals FBI office in Philadelphia. And some of our geography and urban planning students are interning with PICO and other energy corporations as well. We next have the College of Education and Social Work, which is where you will find our education programs and social work, as the name states. We started as a teacher's college, so education is kind of the heart of Westchester. And we have a really great reputation for our education programs. We actually partner with more than 60 school districts in the southeastern Pennsylvania and Philadelphia region to allow students to get into the classroom early on in their time here at Westchester. You know, we love having our students on campus in the education program. We also know how valuable it is for them to gain experience in a classroom. And all of our programs are accredited by the National Council for Accreditation of Teacher Education. And next we have the College of Health Sciences. So it's where you will find our health science majors, so nursing, exercise science, nutrition. It's where you'll find communication sciences and disorders, and so many more programs. And we actually have a very large health science facility on our South Campus, which is where you'll find exercise science facilities. We have a speech and hearing clinic on campus as well, where students can gain hands-on experience working with the public. And that's a really big part of this college, is gaining that hands-on experience. So our athletic training students are working with our current student athletes. Exercise science students are providing personal training to students, faculty, and staff on campus to build a portfolio. And a really big addition to our College of Health Sciences is that we are currently building brand new nursing simulation labs. Right now, those are located in Exton, which is about 10 minutes from campus. There is a shuttle to them. But we are actually bringing these facilities back to main campus with brand new labs, and they will be available in spring 2021.
All right, thank you, Emily. I am going to go ahead and take over from here. Emily, if you can just click for me, that would be great. But as far as our College of Sciences and Mathematics go, Westchester had the first undergraduate pharmaceutical product development program. We also recently just launched our biomedical engineering program. So they're, having a lot of fun building those classes and seeing what students are going to start taking. And then over the past 35 years, 95% of our pre-med students who received committee support were placed into medical school. So Westchester itself doesn't have a medical school. These are other colleges and other universities that see the potential in our pre-med students here at Westchester. And then next we have the Wells School of Music. So this beautiful building that you see right here has some state-of-the-art labs and studio spaces for our students to use. We are an all Steinway school, so those of you that are really into music may know that Steinways are pianos, and those are kind of the best as far as pianos go. So whether you're a first-year student practicing or a senior student at their final recital, you will be on the best of the best at West Chester. We are accredited with the National Association School of Music, and our marching band is pretty awesome. A lot of people end up actually going to our football games and leaving after halftime because all they really came to see was our marching band. They were in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and also were awarded the Sudler Trophy. And next we have our University College. So you'll see on the right, those are some of the offerings that this college has. Exploratory studies is what we call undeclared or undecided. 30% of our students actually come in this route. Advisors will work with students that are undecided to kind of figure out what they might be interested in. It does not set you back by any means because you're working with your advisor to take classes strategically, and then you would declare your major by the end of your sophomore year. Professional studies is a way for students to kind of build their own degree. It incorporates 2 to 3 minors, and then of course you have a liberal studies degree. So that's all housed within the University College. So, we went over all of the different college offerings. These are some other educational opportunities that West Chester offers. So if anyone is interested in studying abroad, West Chester has over 670 different programs. Those range from as short as a week to as long as a year and kind of everything in between. If you want to get somewhere, we'll work with you, work with your schedule to make sure that that's a possibility for you. We also have an honors college at West Chester. I was a member of the honors college when I was at West Chester, and I absolutely loved it. The main difference is these honors college students take a different set of general education courses. These focus on leadership and service. So I know a lot of you may be in AP or honors classes, and it's not the same as that. They're not harder by any means. They just take a different approach to learning. If you qualify for the Honors College, you will be notified. You'll fill out a written application, and then there's an interview process for all candidates. We also do a lot of research at West Chester. So, as soon as you are on campus as a first-year student, that opportunity exists for you. We have the Summer Undergraduate Research Institute, which is a fully funded opportunity for students to do research in kind of anything that they're interested in with a faculty member. That ends in a poster presentation, but oftentimes a lot of students will go on to publish their work. So if you're interested in graduate school or anything like that, to be published and put that line on your resume is going to really make you stand out. And then next, we'll talk a little bit more about the student life. So if you'll see in the top left corner, that's a list of some resources that we have here at West Chester. Of course, the Career Development Center is something, I wish I utilized that a little bit more during my time at West Chester as an employee. I feel like I've learned a lot more about their offerings, and they provide a lot of services to students. So they'll do cover letter writing, mock interviews, help you with your resume. They are an untapped resource, I think. And that's a service you have forever. So even after you graduate, if you 10 years after you graduate, you're deciding, okay, this might not be the career for me. I kind of want to change paths. You can always go back to the Career Development Center and they will help you in the same way that they do our current students. Then you'll see a list of support services. So we have an advising and counseling center, a disability support office, WC autism program, health and wellness center, Center for Trans and Queer Advocacy. Our learning assistance and resource center is our tutoring center. We have a multicultural affairs office. Our public safety officers are all sworn in borough police. So not your, security guard or mall cop type police officers. They are sworn in borough police officers. And then of course we have a veteran center and WCU First. Now hopping over to a little bit more about the student life. We have over 300 different clubs and organizations. And I think last year when I was doing this presentation, it was, 280 or something. So we've got some more somehow in that past year. So really impressive, the amount of opportunities West Chester has for their students. Every semester there's an involvement fair. There's representation of almost all of these clubs. So students are able to meet with representatives, hear about what the club does when they meet, and sign up to join. We also offer a lot of service learning opportunities. Our alternative spring breaks are really popular. So rather than going home and relaxing for your spring break, a lot of students will opt to do the alternative spring break, some trips that students have gone on. You know, students went to New York to teach elementary school kids financial literacy. I've heard of some students going to Philadelphia to do sustainable gardening. So kind of local trips, but, you know, doing some good during your time off. And then we are a Division II sports school, and then we offer club and intramural. So, you know, club is still going to be kind of competitive. Students will travel and play against other schools. And intramural is, you know, if you've never kicked a soccer ball, you can join the team and they will have you. So there's something for everyone at Westchester, no matter what level you want to play at. We have two different housing options at Westchester. We have university traditional housing and our affiliated housing. So traditional is going to be what you think of when you think of a typical college experience. You share a room with one other person and there are communal bathrooms on your hall. The affiliated are going to be suite style, so you share a room with your roommate and you share a bathroom in your own dorm room. So, you know, there are pros and cons to both. I've heard a lot of students that go the traditional route say they've made more friends and there's a community and that kind of thing. And affiliated, of course, you get the luxury of more privacy and that private space. So there are pros and cons to both of those options. And then just a little bit about the dining. Lawrence Dining Hall is our swipe once. You can stay as long as you want and eat as much as you want. Our Ram's Head food court is kind of like a mall food court, you know, has salad and soup and sandwiches and quick things that you can go and grab. One of the best things about Westchester is our food trucks. So lining one of our main streets on campus, we have outside restaurants from the borough that are there pretty much every weekday, and they accept some of the meal plan as well. And then we offer Rambucks, so you or someone that loves you can load money onto your Ram card, kind of like a debit card, and then that works for a lot of the restaurants actually in the borough. So if you're, you know, going out with friends and you are going out to eat, you can use some of this meal plan as well. All right, so now the part that everyone wants to hear about, right? How do I apply and what's that kind of look like? So here is a little bit of demographic information from the class of the class we accepted in 2018, 2019. So their average GPA was around a 3.4 and the average SAT was around an 1120. I like to give these statistics for people so you can kind of tell where you fall in the applicant pool. Of course, there are students that are below and above these averages that we admit to the university. And then the way that you would apply to Westchester for first year students, we are going to be Common App exclusive. So if you're filling it out for other schools, great, just add us. Then there's a $45 application fee. We recognize any fee waivers from College Board or NJACAC. And then we would need your official high school transcripts. So that needs to come from your guidance office. If it comes from you, it's not considered official. And then this cycle, we are going to be test optional. So I know a lot of students haven't had the chance to take their test, or if you feel that the test isn't a fair reflection of you, we're not requiring those for this year. So basically, those are all the things that we need from you. It's very simple. We are not, we don't do early action or early decision, so there are no dates to keep in mind. We are on a rolling basis. And we prioritize based on strength. So those averages that I mentioned one slide ago, the students that are at or above are going to hear sooner than the students that maybe fall a little bit below those averages. We have not started reviewing yet, so we won't really start reviewing until end of October, early November, so don't feel, if you've already applied and you haven't heard anything, just give us some time. And then we may require students to submit additional information like senior year grades, letters of recommendation, just so we can get a better sense of who you are as a student. And then if there's any transfer students joining us today, you can apply to Westchester through the Westchester application or the Common App. Again, $45 application fee. We will need transcripts from any institution you've attended and any military transcripts that you may have. If you have less than 24 earned college credits, we would also need your high school transcript and test scores if you have them. And then finally, this is kind of the breakdown of costs. So in-state students, it's around $24,000. Out of state, it's around $36,000. That's everything. So that's, the meal plan, the more expensive affiliated housing, the tuition. And this is before any type of aid. And 70% of our students do receive some form of financial assistance, such as grants, loans, scholarships. Need-based aid priority deadline is February 1st. So if you want to get your FAFSA in early, make sure it's in before February 1st so you can be considered early on. I always recommend to students taking some time and going to the Westchester website. If you search scholarships, there's a list of a bunch of outside scholarships. If you take a weekend or an afternoon to fill out some of those, you could make a couple $1,000. So there are other ways to get this cost down, even if it is through those outside essay applications. So I think that brings us to the end of the presentation portion. Thank you all so much for joining us. We're happy to take any questions you have now. Again, please put them in the Q&A, and we're happy to talk about anything that you may be questioning. Nothing? Did we really do that good of a job, everybody?
I think we covered it all.
It really, really was a great presentation. Maybe could you guys tell us a little bit about some of the most competitive or popular majors that your students are interested in?
Sure. I mean, one of the things that is good to know is our nursing program is the most competitive major at Westchester. So those averages that I shared with you aren't really going to apply to the nursing program. So nursing students were looking more for 3.8 to 4.0. And, you know, if it was a typical year, SAT scores 1290, 1300, those high SAT scores. We only have about 70 spots in the nursing program for thousands of applicants. Some other popular majors, maybe not as competitive, but popular, is definitely our music programs, education. I think our business programs are getting a little bit more popular as we're going on too. I don't know, Emily, if you can think of any other ones, but.
Yeah, I think you covered them. And it's also important to check out our admissions website because we do have quite a few programs that are dual review, specifically music and art, and they're going to require an audition for music, a portfolio to be submitted for art, and a portfolio for our graphic design program as well. And you can find those requirements on our website. So I definitely recommend if you're interested in any of those. And another thing is for transfer students, while there are different requirements for different programs for that, we may have prerequisites that have to be completed before applying. So if you're interested in transferring to Westchester, also a really great idea to check out our transfer page because some programs do require different GPAs or prerequisites as well.
Oh, so someone asked, can you talk about some popular student activities? I can tell you about some things that I did at Westchester. So some of the clubs and organizations that I was most interested in were service oriented. Our students do a ton of service at Westchester. So that was one thing that I was really passionate about. I also loved homecoming. Our homecoming celebrations are just so amazing. And, you know, Emily lives near Westchester, so she can attest, even the community gets really involved. So yeah, it's not just the students, but it's everyone in the borough, which is also a great feeling. And Banana Day is very unique to Westchester.
Banana Day.
Yeah, so every spring we have what we call Banana Day, and nobody really knows how it started or what it is, but basically everyone is outside all day. There's bananas, there's games, there's people dressed up in gorilla suits, and the t-shirts are like super, super hard to get. So if you get a Banana Day shirt, you're like super cool that you have one. So that's something really unique to Westchester that everyone gets really excited about. And of course we have like sororities and fraternities. So if that's something that anyone is interested in, those that process is something you can do after your first semester at Westchester. So you cannot rush, pledge, I don't know the PC term for it, but that process will start once you have a Westchester GPA. So your second semester of your first year is when you would be eligible.
Okay, do you have any other questions?
I always know when I leave these things, I end up having a million questions. So if you end up, being in that same boat and you think of something and say, oh, shoot, I should have asked Hannah or Emily, please just feel free, reach out to us, email us, and we'll help you get it figured out.
Yeah, and I was also going to say something that I just realized we didn't have a slide on is ways to connect with our office with the majority of things being virtual. We do have a virtual tour that's available 24/7. We also have student guided virtual tours of our campus, which are available every day, Monday through Friday. Student-led panels where you can meet with current students at Westchester and pick their brain about their experience at Westchester. And another really great thing we have is our Counselor Connects. So those happen Monday through Friday. There are appointments from 9 a.m. to 3:30. And those are chances where you can meet with myself, Hannah, or some of our other admissions counselors and assistant directors to answer any questions you have about the application process, about the university in general. And you can sign up for those right on our website as well.
Ladies, thank you so much. I really think Westchester just checks every box. It is the most quintessential college town, a little bit of something for everybody, a great size. I really can't recommend it enough, and your presentation has been really, really enthusiastic and wonderful. So, to all those listening, reaching out, especially in this time, being present online is so important. I know we're tired of being in front of cameras, but and in front of screens, but reaching out, admissions and your high school counselors are here to help you and support you. Just a few more things as we wrap up. We just appreciate you joining us. You will receive a quick survey after you log off. We really appreciate you giving us your thoughts. Once again, sign up for more sessions at www.njACAC.com/virtual fair, and a recording will be available of all of our events after the date. So once again, thank you so much for joining us. Emily, Hannah, thank you so much for your time, and wishing everybody a very safe and happy fall. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Take care.